The jungle is among the most biodiverse sections of the world, with thousands of trees growing over 100 feet tall forming thick forests and canopies, and animals flying and gliding as they maneuver from tree to tree. Below the canopies lie home to many species, from beautiful to strange to wonderful and even to the most mysterious creatures. The jungle is one of the lost frontiers for humans, and over the last few years we've made some incredible discoveries in these remote regions. It's unsettling not knowing what could be hiding behind these dense forests, but this hasn't stopped researchers from studying these areas. Interestingly, in the last few decades there have been whispers of mysterious creatures living in these regions, and perhaps one of the more well-known ones is that of the mapinguari. There have been stories over generations about a gigantic, dangerous and mysterious creature in the thick Amazon rainforest of South America. The beast is said to grow over 7 feet in height, being able to stand on its hind legs and having reddish coloured fur. Their claws are reported to be very long and curl inwards. It's most of the time known for staying low on the ground, but when standing a gaping mouth is seen, allegedly being big enough to devour any creature crossing its path. It's believed to have lived for years, acquiring the name mapinguari to mean feathered beast or roaring animal. According to Brazilian legends, the mapinguari was said to be at one point in time an Amazonian shaman, and someone who knew nearly everything there was to know about the rainforest. Allegedly, some who encountered this being was even told how to live a long life, and that if you spent enough time with them they would start telling you about the secrets of the forest. Because of this discovery, the shaman became smug, which made the gods angry, who then punished him to become a sloth-like creature left to wander the forest for the rest of his life. Even though most people dismiss the story of the existence of the mapinguari as old folklore, there is some science-based evidence to prove that the story is real. Its description matches that of a gigantic elephant-sized ground sloth species that was officially known as Megatherium, and that during their time they too lived in South America in the Pleistocene era. Researchers have found fossils belonging to the Megatherium sloth that date back to more than 11,000 years ago, proving that it once existed in history. Despite the extinction of the Megatherium, today some believe that the reported mapinguari sightings are proof that the ground sloth has not gone extinct, but still lives deep in the heart of the Amazonian rainforest. It's also possible that the story, even though once factual, got embellished while passing through generations to create the now common legend of the mapinguari. The mapinguari, unlike the vegetarian Megatheriums, are believed to be carnivorous, and they will prey on the rich ecosystem the rainforest has to offer. As of today, there's been no reports of these giant creatures attacking humans, or if they have, no one's lived to tell the tale. Interestingly, those that have come close to the creature have said they know it's coming because of the odour it emits, and said that this acts as a type of warning sign for creatures that are nearby. They are said to dislike water, and thus stay in the dryland areas of the forest. The many rumours that the mapinguari has been sighted have drawn the investigation of scientists. The former research director of the Goldie Institute, Dr. David Oren, decided to lead his own expedition to South America in the hopes of finding the creature. However, the trip was unsuccessful and the team weren't able to find any clues that would indicate such a large creature was living in the region. However, some people have reported seeing the beast. Lucas Katrina reported that her son encountered the creature, and despite escaping without any injuries, the whole area was destroyed. Whether true or just myth, the legend is here to stay, and because scientists may never be able to confirm all the creatures wandering in the jungles, it's best to be on high alert while in this region. Another interesting creature said to live in the remote regions of the world is that of the agogwe. Also known as the kakandari in Zimbabwe, or the kilimba in Congo, the agogwe is a creature said to resemble a human being, and it's been spotted living in the East African jungles and forests. The first recorded sighting was reported by Captain William Hetchins back in the 1900s, which was reported 37 years later in the Discovery magazine's December issue. The captain at this time was in the Simbit forest of the western Wambe Plains in Tanzania. A year after the publishing, Cuthbert Burgion, a British officer, made a publication of a 1927 incident where he supposedly sighted the same creature. The third encounter was reported by a professional animal collector, Charles Cordier, who claimed to have sighted the creature in Zaire. It was entangled in one of the many bird traps that he had set, but it managed to free itself before he could capture it. The creature is said to have a standing height of between 1 to 1.7 meters, or 3 to 4 feet, with several features similar to a human being's. It's also reported to have some odd attributes like long arms, a yellowish red skin under its coat of rusty coloured hair, giving it the popular copper description. Footprints have been discovered, and after taking measurements it's reported they have a length of roughly 12 centimeters. When compared to a modern chimpanzee, the agogwe's forehead is slightly more rounded. Its teeth are a bit smaller and sharper, and the colour of its hair and skin is different. If it does exist, the creature is possibly the only surviving species of glacial Australopithecine, a primate believed to be an early form of humans from between 2 to 5 million years ago. Although the foot of Australopithecine had a slightly diverged toe, the general height and description of the creature has some consistency. It's worthy of noting that Australopithecine's foot could have changed in millions of years. Other theories propose that the agogwe may be an undiscovered race of the human pygmies. This explanation has somehow gained following in the light of the recent discovery of the late dwarf hominids that still survive in the Flores Islands. On the other hand, there is a possibility that the creature's stories were based on encounters with known anthropods that were not familiar to the witnesses and the natives of its habitats. However, in the absence of conclusive evidence, the mystery of the agogwe's existence will prevail. Another mysterious hominid is that of the orang pendek, also known as the Yuhang pendek in some translations. The orang pendek is said to be a two-legged ape, and that it currently lives in the western islands of Indonesia. It's been sighted by the locals around the area, and also by foreign researchers. Orang pendek is Indonesian for the short one, and is proposed to be a species of primates that has not yet been discovered, possibly belonging to the genus Homo. Over the years, so many people have reported encounters with the creature, including travellers, natives and researchers who went looking for the cryptid, or saw it by chance. Orang pendek's most common features that have been confirmed by many sightings include a standing height of 2 to 5 feet, moving on 2 legs like a human does and having grey or golden brown hair. The strangest observation is that these creatures have facial features that are more human-like than monkey, which has resulted in the belief that the orang pendek could be a distant lost human cousin, possibly with a common ancestor. A group of archaeologists studying the area found remains of a small species that was human-like, and reported them as Homo florensensis. From what the locals of Indonesia say, the orang pendek has high intelligence and can hide from being detected while watching people, making them fear it for its clever nature. One native reported his encounter saying that the creature lifted its arms to stand with the intention of harming him, which is an ape's natural instinct if it feels threatened. Other encounters have reported the same, but no cases of attacks have been reported. Debbie Martle, a former British journalist and researcher, decided to investigate the creature. Back in 1994, she travelled to the Sumatra jungles in the hopes of discovering the creature. Although she wasn't able to photograph it, she was certain that she'd seen an animal that was very similar and matched the descriptions of the orang pendek. Another sighting was from a former pilot who encountered the creature while flying over a national park. He saw it in a tree and flew in for a closer look. He reports that its head is more ape-like, but the face was distinctively human. Adam Davies, a researcher, made a plaster cast of what he believes to be an orang pendek's footprints that he saw in the western Sumatra jungles, and concluded that the creature has a divergent toe like monkeys, but with one difference worth noting: the toes were short unlike monkeys. and wired just like humans. According to Richard Freeman, who's been exploring and taking pictures of species in Sumatra, there's up to 60 species in these areas that have never been seen before, resulting in a high possibility of the existence of an unknown primate species in the area. At the moment, orang pendek remains unknown, but with the many sightings and evidence suggesting its existence, scientists may soon find definitive evidence that could shed more light on the primitive human ancestors, or more interestingly, the ever-elusive Bigfoot. So my question to you guys is, what do you make of these mysterious creatures, and do you think any of them are real? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.